Good afternoon and welcome to the Weekend Wellness Hour show. Today I have a friend on here who I've known for many years now, Colleen Sinclair. She is a local to Arizona and we met here in Arizona in the Phoenix area. She has changed her life and she became a certified holistic nutritionist as well as an organic skincare formulator. And I thought it would be great to have her on the show today to talk about skincare health. So she owns a store that has grown called Siphon Draw Apothecary. And if you know the Arizona area, it's out by the Superstition Mountains, a beautiful wilderness area where you can hike, explore, and just really enjoy the desert scene and environment. So Colleen, she handcrafts different types of products for your skin to help people with all different types of skin issues. Specifically, she helps people with eczema and psoriasis, and she provides them in natural solutions for their skin. So I want to welcome Colleen on with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy. I'm excited to be here.
It's wonderful. And your store looks so beautiful. I'm very excited to see what you have to share with us today. So thank you. So
Sure.
what I'm curious about is how can you share with us your background and how you changed your life and kind of dove into this holistic wellness approach?
Okay. So, my background,
Mm-hmm.
and when I first started to work, my first professional path was in the beauty industry.
Okay.
I went to school to be a nail tech. I ended up doing permanent makeup, and I did that successfully for about 20 years. And I really enjoyed it. I'm an artist. I paint. So with the nails, I got really creative. And then after about 20 years of doing that, the economy kind of hit a weird spot. And prior to the beauty industry, like when I was younger, I always wanted to be in the medical field. And still, after 20 years of beauty industry, I was still drawn to the medical field. So I went to school at Pima Medical Institute for phlebotomy,
Oh,
and I loved everything about it. My teacher was great. And out of school, I applied multiple places, and I ended up working for a homeopathic MD. And prior to that, I was not familiar with any natural healing or alternative medicine. And frankly, I was skeptical. I thought it was, quackery.
yeah.
And so I started working for Dr. Abram Burr, and he was a pioneer in the field. He was an MD that switched to natural medicine. And so all of his treatments and modalities were completely foreign to me. And I was one of his phlebotomists, and because he wasn't using drugs, all of the treatments that I was administering for him are normally what a nurse would do, but I didn't have to be a nurse because of not using drugs. So I was administering IVs and injections. I was doing hemooxygenated therapies. I was doing all kinds of therapies and IVs, and I was like, what is this craziness? We're doing vitamin C IVs. Anyway, working for him, it opened my eyes to natural healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty remarkable. Sorry about the gunshots. I'm at the ghost town right now. There's a gunshot
Okay.
out there. Anyway,
More
so,
authentic.
yeah. So working for Dr. Abram Burr, I was introduced to a whole new world of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was pretty sick. I was diagnosed with a lot of mental health issues that I was on medication that I was told I would have to take for the rest of my life.
Oh,
And
wow.
those medications controlled when I woke up, when I went to sleep. They caused a lot of side effects, and that caused more medication. So I was kind of a wreck. I was overweight at the time. And so working for him, I got to see people who were coming to him as a last resort, who also thought that natural medicine was a quackery, but they had exhausted all of their other options and they weren't getting what they were looking for. And I was administering treatments to people who were told they were going to die, watching them recover using natural therapies and vitamin C and vitamins. And I'm just like, this is real. This is real. So I started to ask Dr. Burr to help me. And I am today, I am 100% off of all of those medications I was told I would have to take for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the symptoms that those medications were addressing are 100% gone.
Wow.
And I used food and other testing and vitamins and supplements to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I became really passionate about natural healing because I felt that there's a whole nother world out there that people need to be aware of that could be used in conjunction with modern medicine or solely by itself, depending on what you're treating.
Yeah.
And there's too much suffering that could be resolved simply, is what I thought. So I wanted to help people and give them this information.
Yeah.
And that inspired me to get more education. So I went to Energetic Health Institute, which is an online course to do their full holistic nutrition program. And I've completed that course. I'm now also a nationally registered medical assistant.
Okay.
So since then, I am now helping people with nutrition, but I wanted to open up my own store. And we found this great spot at the ghost town, Bloomfield Ghost Town, and I couldn't do food. Food was my first thought, but I was already making skincare in my kitchen. Being in the beauty industry, learning about natural healing, I also learned that your personal care products, your beauty products, they expose you to a lot of chemicals that are toxic. Yeah. So that was part of the whole picture. So healing holistically, excuse me, my computer's timed out. So healing holistically, you have to look at the whole body. You have to look at all the things that affect your health. And skincare and personal care products, your cleaning products, what's going on in your environment, is your house good? Do you have mold? All these things is what I started to look at. So I started to create my own skincare at home.
Okay.
And what I did was I used ingredients in my kitchen. Dr. Burr's wife said to me one day, if you can't eat it, you shouldn't put it on your skin. And that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because working in the beauty industry, there's pretty much nothing I was using that I would ever put in my mouth. And so I started to look that up. And sure enough, yeah, if you can't eat it, you probably should question putting it on your skin. Yeah. There's some things you wouldn't eat straight that you could use in skincare that are not toxic. But overall, the big picture, your skin, it's your largest organ. Right. It absorbs a lot of what you put on it, depending on what it is you're putting on, the location. The absorbency average is up to 64%. That's the average. And sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but it goes right into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Scary.
And yeah, it is scary. And skincare and personal care products, they're governed by the FDA, but there's I wrote down notes because I don't have all this memorized, but the U.S. Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act requires no government review of these chemicals that are being used in skincare products or personal care products. The liability falls on the manufacturer and the distributor. And the issue is there's like over 84,000 chemicals being used in personal care and skincare products right now that I believe there's only been 200 of them that have been tested. And the others, most of them are known endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, they're carcinogenic. Basically, they cause illness in your body that you might not be aware is happening immediately. So you wouldn't relate those illnesses to your skincare or your lotions or your makeup. Yeah. And also the allergy. And so it overburdens your body's toxic pathways. It also affects your nervous system. Your immune system has to work overtime to try and deal with these invaders,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
And it's pervasive too. If you're putting on lotion all over your body and it's chemically laden, I mean, think about how much of that is going into our body and into our organ system and our bloodstream. And I know a lot of people don't realize that because it's not really common knowledge taught in school. You kind of have to take some more, science oriented classes to get that information, medically oriented classes. But this is very important information. And I love that you use natural things that you would actually put in your mouth. And it makes sense. Truly does.
Yep. So according to Harvard Health and Environmental Working Group, are you familiar with Environmental Working Group?
I've heard of it, but I don't know all the details. So why don't you share?
It's a great website. It's a great organization. I donate to them every month. They're not owned by anybody with any special interest. They do all their scientific research independently from like donations, like people like me or wherever it comes from. And they have a section of their website that's designated to personal care products. It's called Skin Deep, and they do a lot of research. And anyway, what I was going to say was Harvard Health and EWG, Environmental Working Group, they've said that the average woman uses approximately 12 skincare products daily on her body.
Wow.
The average male, because men have skin too. Yep. A lot of men are like, oh, I don't need to go do skincare, but we all need skincare. Yeah. Men average is 5 to 7, and teenage girls is 17 daily. So imagine you're using you're developing, your nervous system is still developing, your reproductive system is still developing, and you're using 17 skincare or personal care products daily, and you're not paying attention to what the ingredients are. How's that affecting your development and your health? Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger deal than people are aware of. And I think people think that it is regulated more than it is. And so we just, think it's okay. But it's important that we're responsible to figure out, what's in our skincare.
Yeah, and I think when we go to a store and look at food, we say, okay, there's organic versus non-organic versus processed, chemical stuff. And we can kind of see, okay, it's our responsibility to pick something that's organic and good for us, or, a whole food. And sometimes, we look at the boxes and think, well, if it's in this box and they're selling it, it should be safe. But that conversation in our head doesn't always go to skincare products. We don't even think about the repercussions of, we need to look at those ingredients as well, determine what ones we're okay with putting on our skin. Because I'll tell you, growing up, I didn't think about that at all. I'd never even heard of anything like this. It's just, hey, do you have lotion? Okay, put that on. Do you have shampoo? What's the cheapest we can find that's, 50 cents a bottle, that put it on our head. So things have evolved, and obviously science has evolved with it to help us, learn these things, and people like you to share that information.
Yep, to figure it out. Yeah, I tell a lot of my clients to look at their skincare labels as well. If you don't know what it is, it's so easy to Google everything now. You can Google it. And if you still don't know what it is after you Google it, then maybe you might not want to use it. But,
yeah, that's true.
So like when I started doing the skincare formulating, I used my nutrition education to help me. So that's I know what different oils and spices and herbs and foods do for me internally. Like what nutrients do they give me to support my health? Well, then I relate that to the skincare. What am I trying to accomplish externally? What nutrients would that require? What like, for instance, this is different, the same but different. So cayenne pepper. When you take cayenne pepper, internally. It's warm, it's hot, right?
Right.
Externally, it is too. It gets your blood moving inside. It's good for your cardiovascular system. It also blocks pain. So
Right.
cayenne pepper has capsaicin in it,
Yep.
which competes with substance P at the receptor site, where the pain, where your nervous system knows pain is happening. So capsaicin will block it. So I use capsaicin externally when I need something to be warmed up, or if I need the circulation in that area to heal something, because wherever the blood goes, the immune system goes to heal it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's pain involved, you would think capsaicin, I don't know, is that really going to reduce the pain? But it does.
That's amazing.
So that's one example of how I use ingredients from the kitchen for my skincare.
That's fascinating. So can you share more? So to kind of go into some of the things you make and, what sources do you use? Do you mind sharing that?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to talk about my favorite botanical.
Mm-hmm.
It's creosote.
Okay.
It's the bush that grows all over the Arizona desert that makes it smell wonderful when it rains. People that live here know that smell of rain, and it comes from that plant. So creosote is also known as chaparral or greasewood, and the Latin name is Larrea tridentata. And this plant is one of the oldest living organisms on the planet. It is clonal, and when the oldest bunch of the creosote bushes that are known right now are in California. I don't know exact location, but I know it's in California, and they're believed to be close to 12,000 years old. Okay. So when you think about a plant that has survived on this planet through the different, climates and different times of, times,
Yeah.
12,000 years, it still is here. It's a wise plant. Mm-hmm. It's a resilient plant. The plant is got so many different benefits for us as well, externally and internally. Now, internally, don't mess with it internally unless you're working with a doctor and they know what you're doing and they help guide you. If you do too much, it can be toxic.
Okay.
But I do know people that use it for a variety of illnesses, serious ones. But externally, I wild harvest it. Me and Alan's my husband. Amy, you know Alan.
Yes.
We love nature. It's one of his favorite plants. We purchased a property close to the ghost town that is covered in creosote intentionally. And I harvest that plant and I infuse it into organic oils and I make skincare with it. And initially when I did it, before I knew the history of this plant, I did it because Alan really loves the smell of the desert when it rains. So I was trying to create that smell in a skincare product.
Oh, neat.
And it smells like it. It smells great. But then I had people using it for skin issues like psoriasis and eczema or bug bites. Okay. And one lady, right in the beginning, she sent me a photo of her psoriasis on her hand. You can see this on my website.
Yeah.
Her hand is just tore up. It looks painful and rough, and she suffers from it. And she applied the salve 3 times in 24 hours, and the after photo the next day, it doesn't even look like it's the same hand.
Wow. Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, it was great. Like, she was thrilled. But when I got those before and after photos, I was a little bit horrified because I didn't know that the plant was so beneficial as far as healing goes. And all my mind went to, that's like a really big difference. It does something. I hope it's all good and nothing else. So I started researching and I'm like, no, it's just a really powerful medicine.
Wow.
So I make a lotion with it, a beard oil. I make a lot of different things because it's my go-to for so many different skin ailments. Okay. So I've used it for a while now with great success, and I even have some doctors that will recommend it to people for me. But it's that plant is probably my number one favorite plant.
That's amazing.
Then, another story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions before I keep going?
Go for it. Do keep going.
All right. So another story is honey. So raw, pure, local honey is probably the number one first skincare ingredient. And honey's fantastic. Honey, if you have real pure raw honey, it doesn't have an expiration date. It's naturally antibacterial and microbial and viral. So externally, it's good for that too. It was used for wounds and healing the skin for many years. They put it even on horses to help them with wounds. But I think that we probably don't think of it or use it as much for skincare because it's sticky and who wants to walk around with honey all over them,
Exactly.
But since I learned about that with honey, I started to make skincare products that I put the honey into. Soaps, lip balms, salves, all kinds of stuff, scrubs. But I decided to become a beekeeper so that I could learn more about honey and bees and make sure that and make sure that I am getting real honey. Because if you're using honey for medicinal reasons, you want to make sure it's real, because if it's not, then it won't work.
That's fascinating, because I know about all the B vitamins and you hear all the time about the benefits of honey. So do you have a beehive on your property then?
No. At the ghost town, if I exit and I go left like a half mile up the road, there's some state land that they've allowed me to get a permit, and I have my bees there. And I have about 17 hives.
Oh, neat. That's awesome. How often do you harvest the honey?
Typically twice a year is a good amount in Arizona.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen them this year. I plan to do it soon though. Yeah. I don't disturb them much. A lot of beekeepers are moving their bees to pollinate crops that may be genetically modified or things like that. So I don't do anything like that. My bees stay in one spot.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't medicate them. If they've got an issue, I let them deal with it the way nature deals with it.
Yeah.
I obviously don't harvest the honey from that.
Yeah.
I let nature do its thing.
Yeah.
They're happy bees.
That's wonderful. So are there other desert plants that you use in some of your products, like aloe or other things?
Yes. I use a lot of aloe. So aloe vera, everybody I think is familiar with aloe vera really being very healing for your skin, sunburns. It's also good on things like psoriasis or eczema because it'll cool it. Okay. So when I make skincare, one of the things you'll notice about skincare products is they put a lot of water in our skincare. You'll look at your lotion, the number one ingredient is water. And it's not typically like really great water either. So, and when you add water to a product, that invites bacterial growth. So then you also have preservatives in there. But I do have a few products that I make that are made with a water component. And instead of using water, I use aloe vera juice.
Oh, okay.
Because, water is great inside. But I mean, you put water on your skin to moisturize,
Yeah,
water
that's not going to help.
Yeah, water doesn't moisturize your skin unless you're drinking it. Yeah. And so I do the aloe vera juice because then that's just another healing component to the recipe. And as far as the preservatives go, my skincare will have a shelf life. I make it fresh all the time. Okay. But I use a couple different preservatives that are probiotic preservatives. So they are the good bacteria, which counteract the bad bacteria growth. So
yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So when you're making products, do you do liquids, bars, all of it, lotions, everything?
I make a lot of soap, and it's bar soap. I have made some liquid soap, but I don't have a whole bunch of it. I don't have any available right now, but I'm getting into that too. Yeah. Soap, lotions, body butters,
Okay.
exfoliants, a bunch of different lip balms,
Mhm.
lots of bath bombs. I do have a lot of different salves and pain relieving topicals. My most popular products that people love and have used for a variety of different illnesses or issues are pain relief topicals. I have one that's good for viral issues on the skin. So when you have a herpes outbreak or cold sores or shingles or anything viral on your skin, I address it externally the way you'd want to address it internally. And I use ingredients like L-lysine, vitamin C, golden seal, echinacea, lemon balm. All those things externally are great as well as internally. So we mentioned earlier, I work with nutrition clients too. Skincare is my focus, but your skin is a reflection of your internal health.
Yeah.
So there's only so much you can do with skincare. If you really truly want healthy skin, you really have to pay attention to what are you putting in your mouth? How much water are you drinking? All those sorts of things. And then externally, the skincare, the importance of that is it's kind of like you're sandwiching it from the inside to the outside. But then also, if you're addressing something that's painful or external exposures to toxins that you want the skincare to help you like soothe. So internally, you want to make sure that you're addressing your skin too.
Yeah, and that absolutely makes sense. I'd love to hear that you're using some other vitamins in with it. So when you're forming a bar of soap, do you combine several different plants together with the vitamin C or other products into that bar of soap, or do you stick with one plant when you make it?
I have a lot of recipes.
Okay.
And the base of all of my soaps have coconut oil and olive oil in them.
Okay.
And so olive oil and coconut oil in all of my soaps, but then I get pretty elaborate with other oils and herbs and the liquids. Mm-hmm. So I taught myself how to make soap.
Really?
And some of the things that I do, I've been told after I did it that you can't do or shouldn't do. I'm like, oh, well, I've been doing it and it's working great.
Yeah.
And not shouldn't or can't because it's going to be bad for you to use. Yeah. It just doesn't work supposedly. Like you won't be able to create a bar of soap from it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's working for me. And I use things like coffee as my water. Oh. So when you're making, let me back up. So soap is oils and liquids. Mm-hmm. And the thing that combines them, that causes the chemical reaction called saponification, is lye, which is sodium hydroxide.
Okay.
And people get really scared when I say lye and sodium hydroxide. It sounds like this terrible chemical. But what it is it's an alkali. So you've got your acids and your alkalis. And when you go on the extreme ends, those are corrosive to organic material. That's where they're dangerous.
Right.
But you can use them to chemistry. You can use them to create things. So when you get your measurements right and your recipes right, and you combine them with other ingredients and maybe different temperatures, then they activate and it causes saponification for soap. And it creates a wonderful bar of soap if you get your measurements right. Mm-hmm. And the lye is now not active. It's it's not active as in it's going to burn your skin off. Right. It's active as it's created soap and now you can wash your body or your hair with it.
That's incredible. So I'm curious, do your soaps, do they suds up a lot? Is that a normal part of the process? Or is that more commercial where they have tons of suds?
So I'm not really sure what the commercial soaps have in them to make them do what they're talking about as far as the fuzziness, but my soap lathers.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But it requires specific oils. Different oils will create a harder bar, a softer bar, a more lathery bar, or not lathery bar. Yeah. Like you've probably heard of what is it? An olive oil bar, Castile soap.
Yeah.
A true Castile soap, I think historically was just olive oil with the liquid, the lye.
Okay.
But that bar soap, I've never made a Castile soap like that. But what I've been told by my herbalist who I work with, she has, it takes longer to set up, so the bar is softer, and it doesn't lather as good. So if you get a true Castile soap, it's not going to lather very good, but it's still going to clean you. It still does the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
My soaps lather.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Okay, so mostly bar soaps. What are some of the other products that you have? You mentioned a couple earlier. Can you just touch base on them?
Yeah. All my products are in the other. Oh, no, I have one right here. I'm going to go grab one. Hold on. I have them right here. So, stick. And I got one so far. So this right here is my most popular product. This is the Superstition Pain Relief Stick.
Okay.
It's simple recipe, but the formulation is where it gets its magic.
Yeah.
So all this is let me read the ingredients: shea butter, cocoa butter, jojoba oil, and beeswax. So all those oils on your skin feel really nice. They're moisturizing, and they'll make your skin nice and soft. But then the essential oil combination is eucalyptus, lavender, peppermint, lemongrass, cajeput, and camphor. And I have specific measurements for each one of those.
Wow.
I mix those up and put them in there with that base of those other oils. And it's an awesome pain relief topical. I can't keep this in stock. As soon as I make it, it's gone quick.
That's amazing.
It is. And I do sell this at doctors' offices and a variety of other places. And this one right here actually has broad spectrum CBD in it. So I do make some broad spectrum CBD topical. So it has 1,000 milligrams of that. But I have a lot of different people who've given me reviews and testimonials. And initially, I made it for roller derby injuries.
Wow.
Because I played roller derby for a long time.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I needed something to really work.
Mm-hmm.
So I made this for roller derby injuries, or maybe you're just really sore from working out. You put this on and it helps to give you some relief.
Yeah.
But then people started using it for other things, like back pain or shoulder pain. I have a lot of people who I would not have expected to use it for a variety of conditions, and they get great results, and it helps quick.
Yeah.
So yes, that's one. But then I have another. Let me see if I have it in here. I have something called Praying Hands. It's a salve.
Okay.
And that one is more for chronic pain. This I was focusing more on acute pain right now, but it does help people with chronic pain too. So the Praying Hands is for chronic pain. And that one has a lot of different herbs in there. It has the capsaicin in there. I put cinnamon in there because cinnamon also is a blood mover. Oh, wow. So this Praying Hands, I was focusing on people with inflammation, maybe things like arthritis. I have other herbs in there for nerve pains, like St. John's wort. So it has helped people with neuropathy. Okay. And amazingly, I've had people use it for things like eczema and psoriasis, which wasn't my initial thought, but it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so all of my skincare is toxin free. There's no weird chemicals in there. There's no fragrances in there. It's just real whole ingredients, kind of like when you're eating whole foods. So a lot of people who have skin issues, dry skin or psoriasis, eczema, when they use these whole ingredients on their skin, even products that I didn't make to help resolve something specific, it helps them. Yeah. And it's because they have removed the ingredients that are causing them issues. and they've replaced them with ingredients that are soothing and whole and nutrient dense, so their skin's not being irritated anymore.
Yeah.
So sometimes I kind of feel like, well, that product does not really resolve that issue. What resolved that issue is you removing the ingredients that you were using that were causing the issue.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Totally does. And I'm actually curious. So let's say someone walks in your shop and they come up to you and they say, I have this dry skin issue or eczema or anything like that. Do you start with them just saying, hey, here are some products that are designed for that? And do you give them those, have them start with those? Do you talk to them about nutrition as well? What's the process for people coming in?
So first and foremost, I'm not a doctor, and I don't diagnose, and I don't treat, and I don't cure.
Okay.
But I can recommend what I use and tell you what experiences I've had and what other people have had. And then we can also work together as a client and practitioner where, you know, I can work with someone's doctor. But when they come into the store, I just share experiences. Right. I share ingredients that are known to support your body in certain ways, or products that are going to, or ingredients that are going to be non-toxic, antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobial, and support your body with different nutrients. So I know that, like, say for instance, psoriasis, or say eczema. I have eczema when I'm not eating properly. I have a lot of food sensitivities, allergies, and issues. And when I'm not doing, you know, my diet right, it flares up. But it's not just diet, it's also stress. But stress affects your gut. So it's all tied in together. Yeah. So when that happens, I know that, you know, specific skincare products that I use are going to help soothe it. Right. But then I have to go home and stop eating the loaf of bread. Yeah. that my gut doesn't like.
Right. Your taste buds do, but the gut doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah. So when people walk in, I let them know experiences, and I show them before and afters. And then if they want to work together as a client of mine, then we can go down that path too. So regarding that, and that means going through down the nutrition path too, because you're a certified nutritionist, right? Or holistic nutritionist. Yeah. So what are some common kind of nutrition tips that you would give to someone that's more geared towards improving their skin? Their skin. Okay. So the basics to start. Organic is important because your body, if your body has any skin issues, it's dealing with that. Your immune system's like, I got to work on this, I got to work on that. So it's already burdened. So you want to eliminate the toxins that you're putting in your mouth. So organic's important. Drinking plenty of water, clean, good water. My favorite water to drink is Mountain Valley spring water. And you want to typically drink half your body weight in ounces. But you may be really active, it may be really hot out, you might need more. Or maybe you're really sedentary and you don't need as much. Water, eating organic, lots of fresh produce. So plant food is the best. Phytonutrients are wonderful. Antioxidants, so herbs. But as far as the nutrients go, like vitamins, vitamin C is huge for your skin health. Vitamin A, essential fatty acids are really important. Okay. Zinc is an important mineral. Okay. So there's a variety of ways you can support your skin health. That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. Do you see any common myths surrounding skincare health that maybe there's a common belief system that people have about their skin that you have found that is not exactly accurate? Well, like a myth would be, okay, with skincare products, people are really scared of oil. The skin wants oil. It wants oil. But if you are acne prone,
Yes.
You might want to choose an oil that is not going to clog your pores.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about keeping your skin clean, eating well, and giving your skin type what it needs. But oils are your skin's friend. Water is not going to moisturize your skin.
Yeah.
So when your skin is not getting what it needs, then you have acne. So if you have acne prone skin or even oily skin and you're not moisturizing it with something that's actually doing the job, it creates almost like a layer on the outside that holds the bacteria in because it's not moisturized, the bacteria and the oils. And then it creates acne blemishes.
Yeah.
So oil is not the villain. It's just knowing how to use it and which ones to use.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. So what about, can you talk to us about sunblock? Do you use it? What do you feel? What can you use? All of that.
Sure. So first and foremost, if you're not out in the sun a lot, you're just doing your 20 minutes a day, exposing your skin to get the vitamin D activated in your body daily, sunblock's not necessary. When you're out more than that, we're in Arizona, there's a lot of sun. You don't want to get skin cancer. Wearing hats and your clothes and covering your body. But if you're getting a lot of sun exposure and you really like to sunbathe or do things outdoors, then you want to consider some sort of a sunblock. Mm-hmm. And sunblock creation is and sales are a little bit trickier. They are regulated. So before I can make any claims on any skincare label, I have to be able to prove it.
Okay.
So right now I do have a sunblock recipe that works. I've used it. I've had people try it. It works great. Excuse me. But I have to pay for studies and I have to pay for them to review it so that I can put the label on there. And I will do that. It's just going to take me some time to do that because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about sunblock and skincare and oils is there's SPF naturally in a lot of oils. Mm-hmm. So like raspberry seed oil, I believe naturally it has an SPF of 30. Okay. And carrot seed oil naturally has an SPF of 40.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I know that shea butter and coconut butter, they have a small amount. Mm-hmm. But back to the nutrition again, if your body is healthy and your skin is healthy, it's going to be less susceptible to sun damage. Mm-hmm. So that's important too. Okay. If you're not healthy and you're not taking, making sure you get what you need nutrient-wise, mm-hmm. your skin's more susceptible to sun damage.
Yeah.
So that's the whole.
Totally makes sense. It's kind of like every part of our immune system. We can fight off stuff so much easier if we have that foundation where we're putting good things into our body. We have the sleep, we're exercising, we're doing that great build of our baseline, immune system. Then when you challenge it or expose it to something, you can fight it off or heal from it a lot quicker. So that makes sense. Yeah. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So now you have a website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The apothecary website is siphondraw.com, mm-hmm. and you can access my nutrition, Siphon Draw Nutrition, through that website as well. It'll take you to the Siphon Draw Nutrition website.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, I have listeners and viewers from all over the United States. Can they order from the website and have things shipped to them?
Absolutely. We ship all over the country. And we even do some international shipping.
Okay.
And with nutrition, I work virtually. I have been working virtually even prior to COVID. Mm-hmm. So I work with people all over the country.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's great. And I browsed through your website a little bit earlier. So I saw that there's a lot of different products on there, and I'll have to give some a try. It's absolutely wonderful.
Do it. Let me know what you want to try.
Will do. So is there any last minute common principles, tips, or anything for skin health that you'd like to share?
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to look in your kitchen for skincare and personal products items.
Okay.
So, oh, here's a tip. If you wear
Mm-hmm.
makeup and you're needing a makeup remover, just
Mm-hmm.
use any oil in your kitchen. This is avocado oil. I cook with it. It's a high temp oil, but I would use this to take my mascara off. Just put it on cotton and take it right off. You don't have to go buy a makeup remover.
Wow.
And then you just moisturize your skin too.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard that one before. That's awesome. Yeah. That's great. So I really appreciate you coming on. I love your setup there. Did you want to show us anything before we wrap up? Do you have anything you want to show us?
Well, this right here is where I teach classes. So I do online classes. I do like make your own bath bombs or scrubs or non-dairy milk. I do skincare classes. This is where I do it. This is also our shipping room where we ship everything throughout the country.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time do we have.
We have a few more minutes, so we have about 5 minutes or so. If there's anything that you wanted to demonstrate, and you don't have to either, that's fine.
I'll show you the kit. It'll take more than 5 minutes to do it, but I could show it to you.
Yeah.
So like this little kit right here, I mail to people who are doing my bath bomb class. Bath bombs are fun, and people have a hard time getting them right. And so we do a class together. It's live, and I ship you all of the ingredients you need.
Okay.
And like here's citric acid. Citric acid is something you would use in your kitchen.
Okay.
Arrowroot powder, also something you use in baking.
Yes.
Baking soda. Everybody uses baking soda.
Yep.
And Epsom salt.
Okay.
So these powders are all the powders that I use to mix up together to make a bath bomb. Okay. And the two most important powders here are baking soda and citric acid, because when you add those two together, there's no reaction until you add water. When you add water, then that's where the bomb comes in for bath bomb.
Okay. Oh, that's fascinating.
The part I teach.
Okay. So people can sign up for your class and then you walk them through while they're making it at home.
Yes. So you have two options. You can do a recorded class. So you're basically just paying for the ingredients. The price of the class is less than if you were to buy the amount of bath bombs from me.
Yeah.
That you're going to be able to make. So you're getting all your money back in product.
Yeah.
And then you're learning how to do it, and then you would get a recording.
Okay.
So the recording is a private link, and I send it. It's me, and you can watch it as much as you want. And you can message me whenever you want. But then there's another option, a live class. So if you want to do a live class where we're interacting, that's an option too. And we could have a party. You can invite all your friends, and I can mail bath bombs to everybody. Especially nowadays, we can't be around each other as much.
Yeah.
So like if you want to have like a little event online with your friends or your family, I mail everybody the kit. I host it on Zoom, and then we make bath bombs together.
That is awesome. I love it. That's wonderful. And it's great. And then people know how to do it and they can make their own and whenever they choose. Yeah. It's a great skill to have. I love that. So when you do those, basically people just sign up for you and schedule that. It's not like you do it, the first Saturday of the month or anything like that, is it?
No, the live classes we would schedule.
Okay.
The recorded class,
anytime.
You just purchase it. We mail you the box with the ingredients, and then we'll email you the link.
Okay. That's wonderful. Oh, I appreciate you sharing all this. This is great. And I think we covered everything we were going to cover for today. So I really appreciate you sharing with us all that you do and sharing your shop and your talent and skills with us today. Thank you so much, Colleen.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. And the best way people can reach you, how is that?
I would go to siphondraw.com, to our website, or if you want to email me, you can email support@siphondraw.com.
Perfect. And that's SIPHONDRAW.com.
Yep.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And all of you, thank you for watching us today here at the Weekend Wellness Hour show. We had a great guest who gave us amazing information on skincare health. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye now.